Yeah, welcome in. Welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast. Got an interesting show for you here. Um, definitely some interesting comments that I thought I didn't agree with, but we'll find out what you think. Karl Anthony Towns on the Pat Beverly podcast, and so that was interesting. But before we get to that, if you haven't already, you know what time it is. If you're here on YouTube, please go ahead, click that subscribe, that like, and that notification bell, so you can be aware of any time that we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio only version of the podcast, we're available pretty much anywhere you get your audio podcast. Just search the Format Podcast. We should come right up. Please give us that 5-star review if you enjoy the content. Make sure you share it. We'll rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. Now let's get right to it. All right. So recently, Karl Anthony Towns, star center for the Minnesota Timberwolves, was on the Pat Beverly podcast. So these guys played together during their time in Minnesota, and man, some interesting things got said. So Pat Beverly was asked about, he was speaking about him being asked previously about his thoughts on who the best big man in the game is. And he told, I can't remember who it was to ask him, but he told them, hey, you're not going to like my answer. And so let's go ahead and listen to what Pat Beverly had to say about that, and then we'll be right back.
I have my personal intake of who I think the best 5-man is, right? And the game has changed, right? The game has changed. 4-mans are now 5-mans, and 5-mans have skills that point guards have. And this is a conversation that we've had pre-Denver Nuggets championship. So let's get that understood first, right? This is a conversation that me and my homies had pre-conversation, right? Pre-Denver Nuggets, and the conversation was, Pat, who you played with Cat, you played against Embiid, you played against Joker, like, who you think the best big man is, right? Right. And I go, y'all not gonna like my answer. They go, no, for real, Pat, like just like we talking basketball talk, not like Patrick Beverly talking basketball talk. I'm like, all right, cool. Cat, hey, what? What? I think I told Trevor, we playing the Lakers. I say, hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. And I love the beard. I love James Harden to death. That's my man. When it comes to like offensively gifted players, I say, man, Trev, it's two people, bro. It's Cat and it's James Harden. And I think I got Cat one. No, fuck that, Pat. No, I've been around this motherfucker. This motherfucker, Cat, is a lethal weapon, Ron. You don't hear what I'm saying. I mean, this man can really like do a lot of shit on basketball.
Well, can you explain it to the layperson like me, things that you're seeing in his game? Because we talked about his shooting, but like what really separates him as far as an offensive threat or an all-around player in your eyes?
He can score it in the post, right? He got right hook, he got left hook, right? He going left, he going one leg, and we was watching the game one day, right? And a play get droned up. And I think Cat come off some shit. He hit mid-range. But no one in my household, like, and I got homies who love basketball, and no one in my household, like, said anything. I stopped the TV, I rewind. Did y'all just see that? My man came off a Steph Curry pin down. Dive, no, don't have it. Come off a double screen pin down, right, left footwork to a mid-range jump shot. Man, ain't no 5s doing that, man. Ain't no 5s doing that. Like ain't no 5s doing that. Shoot 43% from the top of the key. Like, can't no 5s guard out there, Ron. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I watch him play Embiid and I watch him play Jokic, and I seen the success he has. So, a lot of people, and I'm still gonna get bad heat about it because I know this shit gonna go crazy and viral, but I gotta stand on my shit. And this ain't because he was my teammate neither. You know me, I'm gonna call it how I see it. If I see some shit, I'm gonna call.
He was straight shooter.
This was just me being around Cat. Like, man, this man is a real basketball player. Like, he, like Cat, the type of motherfucker, wrong. He'd go shoot around, shoot that bitch 10, 12 times. Boom. How you feel, Cat? Oh, that bitch felt good. How long Cat shoot? Like, he just went out there and shot like 12 shots. He said he feel good today.
So it's automatic.
35.
Damn.
So this to me was very, very interesting. Pat Beverly believes that his guy Karl Anthony Towns is the best big in the league. I totally disagree with that. I'm not saying Karl Anthony Towns is a bum. I've thought for years that he was overrated. I remember a few years back, they did the anonymous GM survey about who you would start a team with if you were starting a team. And a few people actually said, a number of people actually said Karl Anthony Towns. Why they said that, I have no idea. He is skilled and he can play, but none of that has ever led to any winning for the Minnesota Timberwolves or any consistent or large scale winning for the Minnesota Timberwolves. But, you know, people, again, have a right to feel how they feel and think how they think. But yeah, Pat Beverly, he broke it down there. He talks about how skilled Karl Anthony Towns is, and I get it. The modern big man can shoot the three and can shoot the jump shot and blah, blah, blah. And I don't think that big men of the past couldn't shoot the three. It's just that's not how they were trained to play. And the game was an inside-out game, not an outside-in game. And then realistically, there's not a whole lot of reason for five men to be shooting the three when they could do the things that they could do. But Pat Beverly saying this was crazy to me, especially when you have a league that has Jokic and you have a league that has Embiid, and obviously Giannis is not a five, he's a four, but you know, I guess in this league he could probably play the five. But the point I'm trying to make is when you have, let's just leave it at Embiid and Jokic, to say Karl Anthony Towns is the best big in the league, I think that's totally ridiculous. And then towards the end of that segment, Karl Anthony Towns gave his thoughts when he was asked how he wanted people to basically remember him when he was done playing. Check this one out.
I mean, I just feel like, I'm gonna put it like this. I feel like when my time's up and I retire and I put the shoes up and I say, you know what, Pat, me, the kids and the wife, we gonna head out to the sunset and enjoy life. I feel like there's gonna be people who are gonna say, you know, that I changed the game, and I'm gonna be very appreciative of that.
That's gangster.
Everything's up for stipulation, and you know what I like to say is that no matter when this is all over, that there's gonna be kids coming up saying that they're gonna be able to play a different way because I played in NBA and did it a different way.
Okay, Karl Anthony Towns, the question, what do you mean you changed the game? You changed the game how? You weren't the first big to step out and shoot threes. Realistically, if we want to go take it back, the big that stepped out and was knocking down threes with regularity was Bill Laimbeer, and then of course Rasheed Wallace. So let's not act like you're the guy to do that. Now, yeah, you can shoot them at a higher percentage, but let's not act like you're the first guy to do it. So for you to say you changed the game how? It is amazing to me how so many of these dudes today say these ridiculous things. Karl Anthony Towns, again, not a bum, but this is a guy who gets eaten. For instance, Anthony Davis is not even a true five, but all that time they were talking about Karl Anthony Towns. Anthony Davis used to go up there and show, hey, you're not even the best big man from Kentucky. Anthony Davis used to eat Karl Anthony Towns' lunch every time he played against him. Not to mention what Jokic does to him, not to mention what Embiid does to him. Like, what film are we watching? What games are we watching? What do you, okay, Karl Anthony Towns, I get it. You're a high-level player in the best league in the world. So, of course, you have to have confidence in yourself as an elite athlete. And I get it. But to publicly say ridiculous things really bothers me. What makes you think that you are the best big man in NBA? I mean, I guess you explained it. You know, you can put it on the floor, you can shoot it, you can handle it. But what do you defend? Do you block shots? I mean, clearly not. That's why they brought in Gobert, right? Because he can block shots and he can defend. You can't. So that's one. You're not the best big man in the NBA. Two, when you line up against those other dudes, not only do they give it to you, but generally you don't get off against those guys. So I'm really not sure what it is you're talking about. Then you got Patrick Beverly saying the stuff he's talking about. And I'm wondering who's the other guy on the show. I think his name is Roan. Who is that guy? Because when these two are saying ridiculous things, there's no pushback. And if Roan is a journalist, I mean, I would hope he is. But then again, if he is, then he's doing a poor job. You're not pushing back at all. You're just sitting there and letting these guys say whatever it is they want to say. Come on, man. Nobody in their right mind is going to say that Karl Anthony Towns is the best big in the league. We're just not. Because even if you say because of your offensive skill set, you believe you're the best big in the league. Well, Jokic just showed that he can do a lot more than you can do. And then even if you say my ability to score and shoot the ball, well, no, because Embiid is a superior scorer to you on the block and in the mid-range. So what are we really saying? What's your argument? I just don't understand this. Again, I get it. You guys say what you got to say. I get it. You're on a podcast, Pat Bev. And Pat Bev is one of them dudes who really believes whatever it is that he says on a podcast or wherever he says it. So I understand that. But for Pat Beverly, a guy you played in the league for a while, I want to believe that you know what you're talking about when it comes to the game. Why would you say that? He's not better than Jokic. He's not better than Embiid. The numbers show it. The lack of winning shows it. It's just, I totally don't get it. But I want to know from you, what are your thoughts on this? Do you believe that Karl Anthony Towns is the best big man in the league? Do you wonder why he said the crazy things that he said? Go ahead, give me your thoughts on this. Leave it in the comments section. Can't wait to read them. Can't wait to respond to them. And I'll be back next episode. And I'm out. Peace.